I had one bullet come into the cockpit and bounced around and ended up right in front of me. Oh, good, I got a souvenir. And then in debriefing, they took it away from me. Most of the time, we were trying to intercept shipping sampans, taking mainly gasoline up the rivers resupply the Viet Cong. Well, there was a whole bunch of them. We would fly sections and cover sections with the rivers at any time we could fly really low and slow. We could almost
like
fly.
An E-10. But you had the turboprops, though, 4.
No, we only had those 2 reciprocating.
Oh.
They were 2 reciprocating engines ran off of. And so we could go like 100.
I don't want to mess you up, but explain what reciprocating is, because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, they were gas. Instead of having a gas engine or that. A turboprop is where you have a jet engine that runs the props, basically. And the reciprocating engine is where you have a whole a circle of pistons that produce the power just like a car, a 6-cylinder car.
For people my age, you would see it in Bugs Bunny with the the circles all around the engine.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
But they were
like a DC-10?
With what?
Like a DC-10? Did it look like that?
No, not exactly like that.
Yeah.
It was a.
I'll throw a picture.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a plane that was started. It was made by Marlin aircraft company, and it was called a Marlin. And it was started. I think the planes we were flying in the '60s were made in the '50s. So it was fairly an older plane.
Should have been a Marine. Gear I carried in 2004 was gear they made in 1980. Sometimes, but it got better.
So anyway, and we would do shipping. We would go low and slow, so we could identify whether it was
and smoke them.
Something that needed to be taken out or not. We had 60 millimeter machine guns. We had rockets all in the wings and everything else. But most of the time, we would call in a PT boat. Sometimes they would be there and to stop them and that. But you could tell if they were low in the water
how much
and fishing nets all over the place.
The rims right at the. He's not carrying fish.
Right.
He's probably got a lot of rockets or something. Man.
So I can say that thank goodness we never made a mistake. There was always a lot of secondary gas blowing up and everything else, But most of the time we would put a 60 millimeter, shots along their bow, and they would come out and wave, and then we'd put another round around it. And most of the time they would beach and get out of the way before we could take them out.
Right.
So that, I guess they had learned by that time that they weren't going to get by with it. So we did that, and then I did that for a couple deployments, 2 6-month deployments, and so that was really good. We had to rotate. Officers had to rotate spending the night on the plane, and we would sleep on the wings. We'd go out the hatch, sleep on the wing, and then we had to randomly throw percussion grenades into the water. And we were looking for bubbles or anything else for anybody that were scuba divers trying to take us out. And then if we thought we saw something, or on a random schedule, there would be these percussion grenades that would they would kind of...
It'd be pretty impressive if they had that.
Water. Yeah, but they did. As soon as you get there, as soon as you get there on the radio, Hanoi Rose would start saying, "Welcome, BP-40, welcome to you," and your.
This was propaganda.
Yeah, all propaganda. Okay. And so
Hanoi Rose. Listen, Uncle, I've not heard Hanoi Rose. I've heard other things.
Yeah,
but a lot of guys like you might know about Hanoi Rose.
And so anyway, so that was 2 deployments of doing that. And then I guess the only time that I felt very safe in the P3 because, the SP-5B seaplane, I felt safe because there was a lot of water and stuff. If we got shot down,
we could land.
We had our fuel tanks were self-sealing. We would take small arm fire, but thank goodness that where we were, they didn't have any missiles to shoot at us. I did have one incident where I had one bullet come into the cockpit and through the belly of the plane and through a couple levels and bounced around and ended up right in front of me.
Spinning?
No, it was spinning this way and came into it, and good, I got a souvenir. And then in debriefing, they took it away from me.
Of course, because they wanted to sell me. But in reality, it was just
it was a pretty safe plane. Yeah, I felt pretty good. And then we went back and to Coronado, and the whole squadron moved to Moffett Field. Moffett Field, we went into P3s, and P3s were. I would have a navigator. I was already qualified as tactical coordinator, which is like the quarterback of a mission.
So let me ask you this. As a Marine, we used to call, hey, stack them up. We say stack them. We get you're getting engaged. And so we sort of stack them up, and I would talk to an air boss, or I would talk to a FAC, forward air controller, or somebody like that, and they're clearing. And then they would stack airplanes. They would have these guys flying in these crazy patterns. Right. And then way on top of that, you'd have an AWACS guy telling you what's going on.
Doing the controls and so forth.
And then these guys would spiral in as you needed them. Is that...
No, we didn't do that.
As an air... Okay.
We had individual missions, so we flew individual, and we would have certain missions. I think one of the more exciting missions that I had in the seaplane before we went to the P3s is that one day they called us in, because we're flying all the time, at rest fly, and then they called us on the ship. We went to a briefing for a special mission. I didn't know what it was. And then they told us, and it was only, and we couldn't tell the crew what it was, and they told us, you're going to transport somebody up. They told us they were SEALs. At that time, they were called UDT.
Frogmen.
Yeah, Frogmen UDT.
Underwater.
You're going to take a group of 5, and you're going to take them up, and you're going to land them right off of the Hanoi Beach, just south of Hanoi Harbor.
What year was this?
This was 68, I believe.
That's the height of it.
And so they said, and you're going to land in a minefield. And it was, they said, there won't be a problem because you will have an aluminum hull, and that's why you can do this. And so and no lights, no communications, no any activity, no radar, no anything. You're going to have to navigate into this particular spot right here, and you're going to let them off and go. So I had to navigate that. Everything was blacked out.
We had let them off. What do you mean?
To land and let them get on to.
Did you ever stop?
We had to go down, stop. We turned around so that they could exit towards the beach.
Sure.
And I don't know, maybe we were 400 yards off or something like that.
The water?
Off the beach. I could see the beach pretty clearly, but we were pretty far away also. As we were going in, I had to go down and make sure that the raft was inflated outside of the aircraft. We had to take our M60 machine gun out so they could get out. And so
we got about a minute.
Ran out.
No, we're still going.
Okay.
Yeah, still listening. But
I see this beach. One's not.
Nope. I got you right here.
Okay. So
We're gonna fuse them.
yeah, and so I could see the fleet out, all the carriers and the lights way out there and everything else. And since we weren't broadcasting a friendly, that we were friendly, I was concerned about they would not know we're friendly, and they weren't communication, but apparently it was okay because they never came after us. But we had to land in this spot just using passive navigation. And so we landed there, turned around, 5 of them got out. We were told we can't talk to them, don't say anything to them.
Yeah, because they were running heroin.
Yeah, and they were all camouflaged up and dark, and so they took their weapons and they got in the raft and they took off paddling towards the beach, and once they were maybe 50 yards away, then we took off again and went back. And that was, I like that. You know, I felt good that we were doing something.
Feel like you were making a difference.
Yeah, but I don't know who picked them up. Hopefully a helicopter or somebody or I don't know.